And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Twist News. My name is Don Pravda.
And I'm Erika Grey.
And welcome. We're going to talk about a few things, including somebody you've heard about. His name is President Donald J. Trump, and he is making waves in his first weeks of office, and including this incredible, shocking speech this week in the White House, where he has claimed that America should take control of the Gaza Strip. This was not expected, and it is sending reverberations all over the world.
Journalists around the globe were looking at the statement and dissecting it and trying to find what it really meant. We heard this. Around the globe, they're doing this. They were trying to see what's backing this up, because essentially it sounded like the U.S. is going to own the Gaza Strip.
Yeah. Which would
and
be,
Netanyahu and Trump made some kind of an arrangement.
Of course. Well, that was the basis for the press conference with Benjamin Netanyahu to the president's right, and he was doing a lot of smiling. He also was
I've
very
never seen
clear.
him look so
he
happy.
looked pretty happy. He also made it very clear that this president, Donald J. Trump, is the greatest friend and ally in the federal government that Israel has ever had in its existence. Might add, well, let's not forget Harry Truman, who surely did his share. But now it's many years later, and Donald J. Trump, there's no question of his support for Israel. Let's name somebody else who's the ambassador in the former governor, Mike Huckabee, our new ambassador to Israel.
One of the things that was so unbelievable is that Trump would take such a strong stand, absolutely strong stand, and not care, not give one hoot. I mean, whoops, sorry, that came out like a hoot. I must have sounded like an owl. Not give one hoot what anybody thought. And of course, they're all upset around the globe. Now he's violating international law and all this other stuff. It was pretty wild, actually. What do you think?
He's asking other nations to bring in the Palestinian refugees to nations like Jordan and to Singapore and to other wealthy nations. And of course, Jordan at the front and center, of course, Egypt. But Palestinians are claiming it's their land, it's their strip, it's their place, and they don't want to leave. Of course, he is also saying he wants to clear the rubble and get rid of the bombs that could detonate, get those hostages home out of Gaza, and proceed for a place that could be like a area of the French Riviera and could be an international site of commerce, trade, and housing being rebuilt. What do you think, Erika?
Well, I think that when you're listening to the fallout in the media, and the fallout, very negative, there's a lot of things that aren't being said, such as in that area, 70 to 80% of Palestinians that were in the Gaza Strip did not even believe that Israel should own any of Israel. They didn't believe in Israel's right to exist. The Hamas infiltration was so great. I think a lot of things aren't being said as to what's motivating him with some of these decisions. And also, what's not being said from the Palestinian side is all of that, making it sound like it's their land, we're this oppressed people, all the propaganda phrases, Israel's committing genocide, look, Israel's destroyed this whole place. Well, Israel had to destroy that whole place because Hamas was under schools and hospitals and tunnels under the entire place, and Hamas is continuously threatened. They're not going away. They're going to do another attack. Yeah. So there's a lot of news that doesn't get out there that Trump is currently addressing. Also, and Marco Rubio stated this, the importance of Israel as an ally in the region, the real threat of Iran, and Trump gets all of this.
Yes, he
and
does.
he's taking such a strong stand.
And the airwaves are full of prophetic resonance. You hear people quoting Isaiah, Daniel, Zechariah, a kind of an end of times message.
Well, this is, I won't even
That's
go
your
there. You're going to have to catch
expertise.
me on the
No,
hunt for the
that's gonna
Antichrist.
take
I
a
won't
long-
even go there. But the fact that Trump is providing this kind of a guarantee, well, we're going to see that kind of a guarantee in the
Right.
future again, even on steroids. So it's like
Yeah.
this path that's coming for a future covenant, let's
Right.
say, or future agreement. In one of my books, by the way. But so we're
Okay.
not going to go there.
Well, you're an accomplished
We're not
authoress.
going to go there.
Yeah,
We're not gonna
okay.
go there.
That's another
Where-
show.
Where we're going to go is Trump's real, it's almost like I said about Rubio with precision, his boldness, his taking a stand. But I understand the motivation because a lot of what was coming out of the Jewish media was being suppressed. And it was as if anti-Semitism was in the airwaves. You'd have to see my book, They're Born Paranoid, that
Yeah.
John, you mentioned all in that book. But it was in the airwaves, it's in geopolitics, it's in the world institutions, and Trump gets it. He knows the corruption and the misinformation, but also the strategic, geopolitical, geoeconomic importance of Israel and what a two-state solution really means. He gets it.
Okay. He does. And he is a great friend and ally of Israel, as is Mike Huckabee and so many others now in this cabinet.
So what did you think of the shocker? Him being
Well, this
so
was
bold.
Unexpected. And there were people in the press corps who had no idea this was coming. It was like a jolt. So people were almost in shock that he said these things, but he's a rather incredible man. Nothing gets in the way of Mr. Trump, and expect more.
He's like Jaws.
Yeah.
Remember?
he
Doona,
is.
doona,
Yeah,
doona, doona,
that's
doona.
right. Oh.
And then he struck.
Oh.
Remember that? That's Trump now on the world stage.
Yeah. Although it is winter time.
Okay.
And we're in the north, by the way. We are in the north.
And the nations of the world are like,
Yeah. Okay.
when's he going to strike again? Is it coming for us now? They don't want to go in the water.
Okay.
Right?
Little humor, right? I
Right?
agree. So expect more from Mr. Trump, who was the host of a reality show, The Apprentice, and maybe the reality show is just beginning in these first weeks of his presidency.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be a very,
Okay.
couldn't be a better time to
Yeah.
report on news than now.
And you
It's
never
gonna
know
be
what he's going to say.
Entertaining, interesting. But there was a Palestinian basic expert who came out and said that they can rebuild. You know, Trump is talking about the place being like a demolition site, which it is. And the Palestinians, well, we can handle this, we can rebuild. And they can rebuild what resources? They're already being pumped up by European Union gives more aid to them. By what resources? Who's going to provide the resources? They're not like Israel makes major contributions to other nations. Not only does it make those contributions geopolitically because of its strategic place in the Middle East, but also economically and providing talent to Europeans' Horizon programs and for the U.S. The Palestinians don't offer anything. They're like a banana republic that needs to take and get funds. And so what could they do? I mean, when you heard that, we heard that together. What are they able to rebuild? The area.
It's been inferred that the world community, many nations will help in the rebuilding of Gaza. Remains to be seen. We'll see what kind of, if there's some strong man that's going to take over. They have, it shows you in the news, over 10,000 fighters are there. They're ready to go. They have weapons. Not everything has changed. Hamas has been diffused, but they have not been destroyed.
I think that Trump, now his experience as a builder, Jared Kushner, the experience there can come in. They already have alliances with the nations that would be workable. So the foundation is there. Again, how could the Palestinians match it? They can't even come close. So the statement that one expert made, where is their funding and ability going to come from?
And will Palestinians leave either temporarily, permanently, or will they leave and return? That's part of the story. What nations will they go to? Will Egypt be part of this? Will Jordan be part of it? Will Saudi Arabia take in?
Well, they're saying they don't want to be part of it because they want the Palestinians to have their own state, or the Palestinians are talking about a one-state solution, but they're not talking about a one-state solution with Israel being the sovereign nation.
Right,
they're the sovereign nation. They're not talking about the one state. And I've never understood why they can't live within Israel like the U.S. Indians have special status and have maybe a status that provides them certain opt-ins, opt-outs. Europe, you have opt-ins, opt-outs in certain policy. I just don't understand why they can't live within Israel as citizens, and why this separate state. Well, I know why the separate state. It's because it's a separate state doesn't recognize Israel at all and wants to go after the other half once they get half.
Right.
That's simple, right?
Yes.
Is that it simply?
I think so.
Okay.
About right. But it's surely a very complicated issue. Very emotional, very difficult.
I see it simpler.
Do you?
Absolutely. Simpler. Just what I said. Cut, dry, very simple. And I also think that many nations are uninformed or they're bought. There's a lot of money. Politics is run by lots of money.
Absolutely.
And groups that support, people that support nations, wealthy nations. And so viewpoints are bought. So I think that that's the case with some of the nations that come out for two-state policy. And I liked what an Israeli official stated was send them to Spain and Ireland, these nations that came out for the Palestinian state, that are very pro-Palestinian, anti-Israel. They've drank the Kool-Aid, all of it, but they're drinking the Kool-Aid because they're probably receiving funding, and that's how politics works.
That's how it
Highest
works.
levels. Money talks.
Money and power.
Yep. So I thought that was interesting.
Oh, yeah. And expect more. More ammunition, more cannon fire. More commentary from the White House. It's just beginning, folks. And it's only been a few weeks since the inauguration. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, yeah, and Trump is like Jaws now on the world stage.
Boom, boom, boom. You must like that movie. I think she likes that
I
movie.
relate to
folks.
I think he even looks like the shark.
Okay, well,
You know, he's got this new look now. And he means business. Oh, I did. I actually thought that was a great movie.
Maybe we'll there's been a few Jaws sequels. Maybe there'll be another one, Jaws, Donald Trump, and send him the residual income from the movie. Not that he needs it, by the way. All right. Well, thank you, Miss Erika.
Thank you, Mr.
It's been a pleasure,
Don.
as usual, and I say good night, God bless. I hope you'll tune into the Twist News and let us know what you think.
I'm Erika Grey, and see us again next time on the Twist News.
Thank you.